Good afternoon. We are
Still outside.
We're around the wrong way, and we have our guests on from the start from Arran Vets. I'm sure a lot of people will recognise who we have. The microphone's not on at the moment, so I'll just turn it up. Hello. Hello. Isn't that nice? Hello. The reason that we've got them in sort of fairly early on is that any minute now someone's going to have a cat with a problem or a dog with a problem or something might have a problem, and so we're just going to say hello to them now. We're going to do a little bit of news, aren't we?
We don't have a lot of news.
We don't. No.
It's very windy today.
We don't. It's really windy.
I know, I took my gazebo down. I'm getting really good now, this big gazebo. I can put it up and down on my own.
But the forecast was supposed to be really good.
Well, it's sunny and it's bright.
For those of you watching, you want to see a bit of Brodick, I'll show you. There's a couple of videos of Brodick at the moment. This is a bit of Little Rock at the moment. Just showing that they're very busy. They have been all week. There's Ailey with a new t-shirt on. So the island is getting busier. It's just strangely busy at certain times of day, isn't it?
It's definitely busier. I mean, you can feel it on the roads. There's more traffic.
Yeah.
Not everything's open though. I mean, there are a few places that it's not viable for them to open, or they're taking longer to get things organised so they can open safely for everybody, for the staff and for the customers. So I think a few people have been a bit surprised that we're not just back to normal yet, or far from just being back to normal. And obviously most places, including studios, are asking for masks to be worn when you go in. It's not just the shops, no, it's just if you're out and about, take a mask with you.
And you guys have had people with masks on from the start, really, haven't you? So because
we've now got screens up around reception, so we're at the moment one person can come in at a time with a mask on. So that's making things a lot easier, which is good.
Good.
It makes sense. I mean, it's not going to do you any harm, and it makes a lot of sense. The other good news is the ferries have expanded the booking time, so now you can actually book your return journey, which is quite handy.
Yeah, okay. I'm yet to go away this year. Have you guys been away this year?
No, I was thinking before I came, I was away on the 12th of December, the week before the 12th of December.
The 12th of December. That's about the last time I was off the island. Yeah. It's not.
I shall remember.
It's not as easy for me, obviously, because I've got that. Well, you've got a dog as well. But do you know my dog? I think you've probably met my dog before. Know my dog inside out. Anyway, you want to talk about that thing I can't pronounce?
Oh yes, you can pronounce it.
No, I can't.
We've been working really hard at this. You don't have to have Gaelic to be able to say fish.
Go ahead.
The Féis is going to be online, and it starts on the 27th of July. It's really worth tuning into. We had to put it all online. We had to make the decision. It's normally in the high school, but we have classes for drumming, fiddle, singing, guitar. There's fun and stories, accordion, piping, and art. So there's something for everyone, and I'm going to be tuning into some of the classes. It'll be quite nice this year because I can tune into some of the classes that I normally can't. So that's definitely, and if you go on to faoisearm.com, they've got all the information of when the classes are and how to get involved in it.
Cool.
So that's good. That starts on the 27th. Is that next Monday?
I don't know. One of you beeped. Uh-oh. Is that all right?
Gemma's on the call for the Coast Guard.
Gemma's got Coast Guard. Gemma's got Coast Guard as well. We'll put these guys' names up if you don't know our vets. So Charlotte is sitting at the far end. The graphic is completely and utterly the wrong way around. Charlotte's sitting at the wrong end. Gemma's in the middle, and Danielle's closest to Heather here. So that's who we have with us today. On the subject of music, I had a message from Quentin, and he wants me to help promote this. The Isle of Arran Music School's AGM will be online this year. If you want to know more about when it tells you when and where, but if you want to know where to go online to get into it, you just email info@arranmusicschool.org.uk, and they will give you that information. And also on their Facebook page, they've got a couple of videos.
They did a lot during lockdown. They got the pupils all to connect and
Oh yeah,
play.
they did. Yeah. Well, that video's on there with the
Harsax.
Thank you.
Harps.
Yeah, harps. Yeah, I was going to say hearts, but I thought is there a difference?
It's a Scottish word for harp.
Well, right, okay. I'm not going to go there. Okay, right. So that's the army. So there's a couple of videos on that Facebook page, and if you're interested in what the music school's all about, then obviously pop on there and have a look.
It's a great thing. The
So
island's
that's
really
Clinton.
it's full of budding musicians.
Mhm.
A lot of youngsters coming up, and they're doing
Yep.
really, really well. But I thought it was great that over lockdown they actually got together, well, over Zoom, and created music, and it was fabulous.
Music? Any of you?
It's good.
No? Do you not play any music? You lot?
I did acquire a piano from Shona to start playing again, but it's a bit rusty.
Wonderful.
Is Shona the only person that's missing out of the practice at the moment?
There's Shona and Ellis as well.
Right, okay.
And Maggie.
Ellis and Maggie. Right. Okay. Cool.
You wouldn't get all 6 of us on one.
No, I wouldn't. I haven't got a big enough couch for that. No, we're trying to socially distance, but
If you play piano, you're halfway there to harp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very similar. Very similar.
you never told me that.
Turn it. Well, yeah, turn it on its side.
You want me to put my piano on its side?
No, but you can play a harp. Just need to turn your.
Oh, I see. Turn the harp on its side. I thought you meant the piano.
Well, you could. You could.
All right,
It'd be
all right.
a bit awkward, I suppose.
Okay,
But yeah.
okay. Mandy sent us some photographs. I was going to try and get these into the intro video, but I didn't have time. But Mandy sent us these. Is that an orchid?
I'm not sure. It looks a bit like a foxglove.
Yeah, it does, but it's got funny little bits on it. Anyway, and this cracking picture of Holy Eye. Look at that. Oh, Charlotte's good at plants. All right. Well, no, you can't see it from there. I'll
I
show you.
think it looks a bit like the sorting hat sometimes, the holy owl from that angle. You know, it's got that.
The sorting hat. Yeah, you watch too much movies. That's what your problem is. And that's one of Pladda and Ailsa Craig from, I presume, above. Just left of or right of Kildonan, whatever. Yeah, the nice. I like that one. That one's a classic. That's a lovely picture. So thank you to Mandy for sending those in.
Yeah. We need more photographs.
Yeah, we
sent in.
do.
Send
I mean,
in
you're
photographs.
just rubbish at sending us photographs. So if you wouldn't
You're all too
mind,
shy.
it's not that difficult, really. Anyway, but if you could do that, that would be appreciated. What else have we got? That's general. We haven't really got that. I think.
One of the things I wanted to say on the way through, I have to say the roads are a lot busier, there's more people over, and the islanders, we've all been very used to having the roads to ourselves, which has been lovely. I've quite enjoyed it, you know. Just, you can come all the way through to Brodick and not pass a car. But now there's a lot of cyclists on the island, so keep an extra eye out, you know, look
You've
twice.
not hit another one, have you?
No,
Oh.
no. But just keep an eye out for them, and the cyclists also to be aware that there are cars on the road too. So it's just we've suddenly gone back into a mode that we've been out of for quite a while. Keep everybody safe.
Sorry, I'm not. I'm listening. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. in the
Triumph have
band.
actually brought out a new electric bike.
Did
Quite
Whiting Bay manage to get a crowning thing in?
Yes, they managed to do a big
Wow.
queen. It's fabulous.
That's pretty cool.
And they've also done an online beach sculpture. Everybody's put one up. You know, they've all gone down at different times to the beach and made a sculpture and posted the pictures. There was a fantastic one of a horse. I mean, they were all great. They were really, really good. But the horse, I have to say, because I did it a few years running, and my Buddha looked, well, I think people thought it was Queen Victoria when I was. It's very difficult. Have you ever done a beach sculpture? Never built one. It's really difficult. I mean, it's fine if you're just making a wee sandcastle, but when you start getting into bigger things, it's quite hard. So the ones that have gone up on the Whiting Bay Facebook page are phenomenal. I don't know if they've picked a winner yet.
Oh. I didn't know anything about that. Was it in the paper?
No, it was on Facebook.
Oh,
You brought it. You're not Whiting Bay.
what's that got to do with Facebook?
It's a Whiting Bay beach.
Right. Okay. Good afternoon, Mark. I'm going to read this first, Mark, just to check it says all right. Either an engineering or you're a wee bit out of focus today. No, we should be all right. You need reading glasses.
Are we all
Mark.
out of focus, or is it just?
As
Graham
far
that's
as I
out
can
of
see,
focus?
What's going out appears to be okay from my point of view, so I don't know. The sound will be a little bit altered because we're being picked up by two different microphones, but
And we're also round the other way. We're not usually this way. We're
no,
normally
it's
on
a little
that
bit
side.
uncomfortable this way. I don't know. It was just to get all
It's working. It's
the
working.
veterinary people in. So, right, let's get into the vets then, shall we?
Yeah.
So let's put their little thing up. We can do that. So busy? Has it been extra busy or quieter? Do you normally deal with a lot of tourists?
We do, yes. So, I think, like a lot of people on the island, we've gone from nothing to really busy again. There hasn't been a gradual build-up, but
It's just
yes.
a flick of a switch and that's it.
That's
So
it.
on
We're back
again.
in the full summer season, so yes, we normally do get a lot of extra business from tourists, largely with dogs with tick bites. So I've already had a call this morning from a tourist with a dog with a tick, but we'll get lots of those calls.
Do they not know how to remove them? Is it?
I don't think they used. Not many places in the UK have as many ticks as Arran, so
Yeah.
Oh,
they're not familiar with them. So some people are horrified because they've never seen one before. Other people don't know how to remove them safely. And then we do get some genuine emergencies where they've got a nasty infection.
Do dogs? I know this is probably a crazy question, but do dogs get Lyme's?
Yes,
Yeah, they do. So they do actually have the same reaction if you,
They can
don't
do.
treat
They
it
can.
properly.
Probably more often see nasty bacterial infections rather than actually Lyme's disease.
Right.
Um,
But you can treat it. Is it a shampoo or can they get an injection or something that they take that kind of repels the ticks a bit more? No.
you can answer that one.
Well, we can give them a tablet, so it's really easy. It's just a Provecto tablet and it lasts for 3 months.
Could people take that?
Not officially, no.
No.
Haven't you been told that
Yeah,
Germans
a visit to the doctor, I was asking them whether they had very many people coming in with tick bites because it was the season at the time, and they said you'd be surprised about the people that take animal medications to repel ticks.
we're not advising that at all.
No.
No.
Don't do it.
No. It's just, I suppose it's just a check. I mean, I know every time you go for a walk, I always kind of do a dust down and
Yeah.
just keep an eye on it. And I think with you know 9 times out of 10 you come back with the one somewhere. But it's easy to say, well, I've got one of those pen things. It's not even a pen, it's a thing with a wee claw on it. You just get a good grip on it and pull it out and it's done.
You've got a message from Helena Elizabeth saying, "Well done, Arran Vets. Love from Rotherwick." Rotherwick.
Rotherwick is where I used to live.
Ah, there you go then. Oh.
Thank you, Helena.
And okay, I have just turned your microphone up a little bit, so Mark was asking for that. So it's up about as high as we can get it.
Well,
So you're-
where I used to live in Hampshire, we've had lots of ticks as well, so that is completely normal for me. And
Right.
Danielle was previously working in South Africa, and you were telling me you had to sort of do a tick check every time.
Yeah, I mean, every time you went out of the house, you would be absolutely covered in ticks, and we used to wear shorts all the time, so it's quite par for the course for us. So we have to be very gentle with folk who've never met a tick before.
They are horrible. I mean, they're disgusting little things, and they crawl. You know, they're not always where you think they're going to be. You find them, you know, a few days later in strange places. So yeah,
Exactly,
they're kind of horrible.
Have you got? Now this is a difficult question for you to answer. Have you got a favourite animal that you treat on Arran?
Dusty. How's that? Every time.
I have just put up. If they don't say Dusty, they're not getting cake. So good answer.
Oh, that's a correct answer. Yes.
Dusty has been in 3 times to get stones removed, and he's
And he
still.
not just have ticks like everybody.
I know. He's so desperate to get in and see you. Even after all those surgeries that he's had, he's just straight in the door. So he's a good boy. He's upstairs at the moment, and the reason he's upstairs is that you've brought something in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting because I can't see it from there.
So Danielle can start the story on this one because she took the call, didn't you?
This is exciting.
I know.
So we'd had a few calls in previous days to say that this chap was around about the area and
Yes.
looking lost. And it's very nice that people look out for lost or abandoned animals here, so we always get several calls.
Oh,
And
it's
it was actually the police in the end that brought him into us. So looking to see if he needed some help.
I've called him Homer now, but he's a non-homing pigeon.
Colours on them are fabulous. Beautiful.
He's beautiful, yeah.
If you're comfortable with him in a minute, you can maybe just walk up closer to the camera and let people see him.
Oh, he's beautiful. He's quite, I don't know if to say relaxed, but he doesn't seem
Well,
totally...
yes, pigeons, I mean, pigeons have been domesticated for about 10,000 years, so homing pigeons. So he's very, very tame. And that was what was causing the consternation amongst people on our end, is that he was hopping around and they assumed he couldn't fly, but he was just hopping around.
Being sociable.
Yes.
Just coming to see people. Yeah.
You've got tissue.
I've had an accident.
Oh,
Just
Always happens.
yeah.
I've got my towel.
So it's just to grab it in case it goes on the floor. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Nursing instinct, okay.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you.
So I'm actually able to see him from here, so I can zoom in on the
So
iPad.
the police have tracked his owner, he's from Northern Ireland, and he just doesn't want to go home. So he's got every opportunity. He'll sit on the roof of my house and look towards Northern Ireland, but he never takes off and goes home. And his owner's response was just let him go, he'll come home. But so far he hasn't.
so how long has he
come home.
been here?
I would say 3 or 4 weeks now. Yeah. But he's living in my chicken shed, and he'll go in at night with the chickens, and then he'll come out during the day. He's a wonderful flyer. He's amazing when he does set off, but he always comes back. So
Oh, he's obviously chosen. He's chosen
Decided
this.
he wants to live on our own.
I've never seen them as close, and I've never realised that the colours are so strong
yeah,
and almost sparkly. You know,
Yeah.
they're
so yeah,
oh, he's beautiful,
yeah.
really gorgeous.
You guys are getting so many messages. Yeah. Hello to Gemma's dad, from Gemma's dad and sisters down in Liverpool. Penny and Rosie are asking where Dusty is. He's he's upstairs. There's no way Dusty's going to appear anywhere near a pigeon at the moment. And Liz McLean from the Co-ops is saying hi to Charlotte. Thank you for looking after my wee sooty girl. So a bit more settled now. Yeah.
Look at the markings on it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They're much. It's the same with any common bird. You just get so transfixed by seeing them every day. It doesn't. You just don't realise how.
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
We had another one again from Northern Ireland who was brought in 2 days ago, but that one died sadly. That one had an injury, but this one has no injuries, and it just, as I say, just seems to like Aaron. I think he's got to Aaron underneath.
Even the markings there. Did you get the markings on his wings there?
Oh, just a second. I got you.
Oh.
I've done this before. Right, hang on a second. Let me get this markings in.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Good boy.
Alright, there we go.
Beautiful.
I'm saying boy, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, I'm afraid. You are. Well done.
Seems quite happy.
So we had Gordon Buchanan in last, but if I'd known you were going to want to, we could have brought a cheetah in or something, or a polar bear or something. But so what's going to happen now then? Just
Well, he can stay with me as long as he likes, but if he wants to go home, he can. So, I mean, Northern Ireland, how far is it from Ireland
It's-
across to the cliffs?
it's only about 20 miles from the south of the island, I think. So, yeah.
It's not far for him to go.
No.
But the other one that came in was from Northern Ireland also. I don't know why we've suddenly got an influx of racing pigeons from Northern Ireland.
All right. Okay. Going back to that pink flower that I showed you a picture of, I said it might be an orchid.
Yes. Was it?
Yep. It was a northern marsh orchid at Kilmorey, but they're all around the island, she says. Pale pink and usually spotted leaves.
Very pretty.
So there you go.
So are foxglove. Very
Almost
pretty.
as nice as my petunias, which I won't comment on any more shows because I think we're all fed up hearing about them.
They're not not all from the same tub though, because you've got orangey ones.
Those aren't petunias though, those are marigolds, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
Very pretty.
so obviously you can't say too much about, you're quite involved in confidentiality, so we can't ask you too many questions. I'd like to know, and this is a genuine question I'd like to know anyway, unusual pets on Arran.
Well, Danielle's got involved with some more unusual farm pets, haven't you?
Yeah, so Arran alpacas have just recently
Yeah.
started their own
Yeah.
herd of alpacas there, so that's been a learning curve for both of us because they phoned up and said, "Can we talk to the alpacas?" And I said, "I'm absolutely very happy to help you, but I don't know anything about alpacas, so we'll have to learn about it together."
Well, it's got
I haven't
Front-
seen them yet. I haven't
front,
seen them.
back, 4 legs. Can't be that different, surely.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
They are.
So we've been on a learning journey together over the last couple of months to get them sorted and healthy and happy, which they are at the moment. I think they've just had them sheared, so they're deciding what to do with their fibre.
Oh, right.
It's fibre, not wool. with them
Oh, is it?
Can you spin
Fine.
it? I
You
wonder-
can. I believe they've had one of them spun into a scarf, which is in the shop at the moment,
Oh.
which is very nice.
I would imagine that'd be quite short staples. It's not going to be that long.
But is there any snakes on the island? Pet snakes?
There
That-
are some
that
pet
you know of?
snakes. That actually caused a problem in lockdown because people couldn't get the frozen mice that they normally
Oh.
feed their pet snakes.
Right.
So yeah, we helped out someone with, what was it? A cotton snake?
Cotton snake?
Because I have a supply of frozen mice for owls because we see a lot of injured owls.
Mm-hmm.
So we managed to help someone out.
Yeah. I know Faye Waterlow's got a transparent shrimp. Yeah.
It's a pet.
She's got a goldfish or a fish in a tank this size, and she says there's also a transparent shrimp in there. It's not the sort of thing you can sit on the couch with at night and watch a movie or something. In fact, it might not be transparent if I had my way with it, because I'd just cook it. Anyway.
Garlic
But
butter.
yeah, I don't. I mean, is there a lot of pet fish on the island? Because that's another difficult thing to.
Not really. I haven't seen a fish since I've been here.
Right.
No. People always ask me that question, and I'm afraid the thing that interests me is rare diseases, not rare animals. So it's
Yeah.
the part of my job I find fascinating is trying to diagnose an unusual condition rather than seeing an unusual animal. One that springs to mind is a dog which had a very unusual condition where it was producing too many red blood cells, and that is dangerous because eventually it leads to fits and the dog dies. And the treatment was to actually draw blood from it.
Right.
So, and that felt so wrong to take what, normally we're doing everything we can to preserve blood in the body, and on this occasion I was actually having to remove it and throw it down the sink
So.
for the dog to survive. So that was a very unusual one. So that's what still keeps me interested really in
Yeah.
the job after all these years.
Yeah. Someone's asked, Andrew Ross Baines asked Charlotte about Boris, her friendly seagull. Should we ask you this question, or do you want us to move on?
Boris is more of a stalker.
Oh,
He's more of a stalker. He walks around the outside of the cottage and finding which room I'm in, and then he'll sit and look at me until I give him food.
it's like your crow.
I know,
Yes.
I know. I have a crow that's sort of adopted our garden, and they're fabulous birds. I'd never really seen one up close or looked at them. You
Yeah.
see them, but that's it. I've got lots of wee chaffinches and blue tits and things in the garden, but suddenly I've got a pet.
I've got a teenager that sometimes looks in through the window and wants food and stuff, and money as well,
I'm
But-
trying to figure out. I don't know whether I should be feeding it, but it can. It's too big to land in the small bird feeder, so I got a bigger bird feeder to see if that would help. But it doesn't like that one, so I've asked Les to build me a bird table. Maybe that would work. And then I
I
think,
think
what
when
to do?
you've got a crow, you're always going to have a crow.
Well, I've been told that. They can live for about 20 years. This could be my
Yes.
new. It's. Yeah, it likes to wake me up in the morning. It lands in the coal bunker outside the bedroom window with a clatter, and it's almost tapping its talons as if to say, "Excuse me,"
Well, Gemma's got some
were camping in the back garden a couple of years ago. Never heard it before. Tap, tap, tap. What's that noise? Got out and there was a seagull tapping on the next door neighbour's window so it can go out and feed it. To prompt her later to go out and feed it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thing is, once you start,
That's
That's
it. Yeah.
and I'm told, especially with crows, you can't offend them. If you offend a crow, then it will remember and it will really.
Oh, for goodness sake. You're getting all superstitious again.
Well,
They're very intelligent.
they're very intelligent. I mean, I was eating my sandwich yesterday, funny enough, I was sitting in the decking, and you have that feeling that you're being watched. And I looked up, and it's looking over the top of the roof. And as soon as I looked up, it went back. But I kept the gaze. I thought it's going to come back and see if I'm still watching. And sure enough, over it came and just looked over. It's quite creepy. So yeah, we've called him Fluke.
Fluke.
Named it.
Well, that's suicidal if you start naming wild animals.
Yeah, we've got quite a few.
But he seems quite happy now, doesn't he?
He's quite relaxed.
Chilled out. Yeah. Yeah.
What would you do if you let him go? I'm frightened to ask
I
this.
would fly away. Yeah.
I'll probably make a mess of him.
But yeah, where would he go if you let him out of the house here? Would he find your place?
He would I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know. I wondered that whether if I let him go here,
Just
he
let
would
him
fly
go
back to my
and-
house now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't know, will we? Because the problem was before the police brought him in, people kept ringing us, wanting us to rescue him.
Right.
If you do find a homing pigeon, the best thing is just to give it a little food for 48 hours, and then usually they're on their way.
Yeah.
They
He's
sort of-
maybe just been tired.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
did you say he was chipped? Has he got a?
He's got rings. He's got rings on his feet.
So there's nothing sort of technological about what he's carrying that would track him or anything.
So we know exactly where he's from. It's just that no, the owner doesn't want to come from Northern Ireland and collect him.
Just for a pigeon. Yeah. Oops. I think we might be letting the pigeon go. Well, fortunately the oven door is shut. I've got beef in there at the moment. It's okay. I'm eating
Pigeons
tonight.
off the menu tonight.
On your Facebook page, there was another bird. I noticed there's a picture of a swan.
Yes.
How do you deal with swans? They're huge birds. Does that happen quite often? Because we've got lots of swans around the island.
Yeah, I think the most common birds we're called to are probably swans, gannets and buzzards. And one of the most useful technical bits of equipment at the surgery is a towel. You've noticed veterinary surgery is complete without a good supply of towels. So basically you just take a towel or a blanket that's much bigger than the bird and then very gradually creep up, put it over. So that's the best way to catch them. Gannets have the really long beak, and I don't know if you heard about the gannet on Brodick Beach, which
No.
was attacking people, but it wasn't really. It was just defending itself.
Mhm.
But that was, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
We're taking up residence at the 11th hole, so we got
That's
the phone
right, the
call to
11th
say
hole,
it was
yeah.
the 11th hole.
I should send you the picture of Jake. Send it to.
But a lot of them go to Hesselhead, don't they?
Yes, although that option's been out for the last few
Yeah.
months. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just depends on the bird. But they do. They're wonderful. They'll take seals and otters, and they took your budget cog, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, so it must have been 2 or 3 weeks before, just before lockdown.
Yeah.
We had a knock on my door at midnight with somebody who had a badger in the boot, which was slightly more awake now than he had been when it was put there. So this lovely lady had picked up the badger from the side of the road because he'd been run over by a car, and then another car had come around the corner and run him over again.
Oh.
So he'd been picked up and presumed just to bring into the surgery to be put to sleep, but they're tough little things.
Mhm.
And we actually anaesthetised him and took some x-rays, and he looked alright, so he had some treatment with us. And we took him across to Hazelhead, so I had him in the back of the car, hoping nobody would think the smile was me as we went through the...
But I think it's fair to say as well, there's a lot of people on Arran that would quite happily do without badgers.
Yeah,
They've wrecked many a hen house and stuff. haven't
But
they?
they're protected. Badgers are protected, aren't they?
Yeah.
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 But a badger, am I right in saying that a badger will, I mean, it will go into a hen house and take what it wants, but it won't, it's not like a mink that will go in and destroy the entire hen house just for sport, or would badgers do that too?
I don't know, because I've not personally experienced it, but yeah, people say that they'll kill hens in the coop if they get in, just like fox. The reason they do that is that they, certainly with foxes, they'll take the birds and bury them and go back for them later. So it's not just,
So it is food.
there is a reason for it, yeah,
Mhm.
they're going to
Mhm.
store it and eat it later.
There's been a big,
That's help if it's your chicken house then.
there's been quite a big. We covered this a few weeks ago. There's been quite a lot of mink now appearing
Yeah.
back on the island again, isn't there?
There are.
So they obviously weren't died out. I think there was the rumour was that they'd all died out, but
No,
They're-
there's still
they're
a few,
making-
there's a
making
few,
a
but
bit
I've
of a
seen a
comeback.
couple of them. I mean, obviously I remember them when it was at infestation level on the island, and I've had to clear up a few chicken coops, which is not very pleasant.
They do make a mess. Yeah.
It's horrible. But yeah, no, there's a few of them about still. So, but they're quite scary. I mean, they'll challenge you if you meet one on the beach. They'll actually
Yeah.
take you on.
Yeah.
yeah.
I had one under my chicken shed and it poked its head out and it was screaming at me, so it wasn't running away like most wildlife.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
what I've done is I've got the entrance to the chicken shed is about that high off the ground, so the chickens can fly in, but the mink can't.
Can't do that. No, that's
Right. If you've got any questions for the vets, let's have them because we're not going to be online very much longer. We was something else we were going to mention. Oh, Whiting Bay, the Bay stores. We did a video.
Oh
if you
yeah,
didn't
we
see
had
it.
we had a lovely visit there.
Well, you did. You ended up eating everything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Mhm.
I need to go back in. So I've run out. I've eaten all the cashew nuts.
If you haven't seen it, we were there 2 weeks ago and we managed to get the video on this week, and it's had lots of hits, hasn't it? It's about 2,000 hits, I think it's had now. 2,000 people viewing it. So a little bit of a sales point from our point of view. If you do want a video or you want to come in and mention a new service or a product, we're very happy to oblige. But yeah, that one worked out really well, and we've got a few more that we want to do. We want to go and see the alpacas as well, and also get down to Bellevue Farm too. So there's quite a few sort of animal-related things. But and that's another thing. If you've got something we'd like us to feature, then give us a shout, and we'll go off and see if we can do that. We've got a couple of guests lined up for the next few weeks, haven't we? So.
Mhm.
But
if you want to see the Bay Stores video,
Yeah,
it's on
it's online.
the page. Just
it's probably about 2 posts down from this one. Obviously, last week's show, if you've not seen that one was a good one too with Gordon Buchanan, and because he shared it, our viewing figures went through the roof. So it's very very nice of him. But other than that, I think we are done. I think we're done.
I think we've managed it again. We've had no
yep.
gremlins.
We'll sort the microphones out. There is a bit of an echo. I can hear it in my earpiece, but we'll sort them out.
Getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, once we get some funding from advertisers, then we'll get some clip-on mics and stuff. But in the meantime, I
But
think
thank you so much
yeah,
to
absolutely.
Sharon.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's nice.
Jim
And I'm sorry that Dusty flattened you when you came through the door, but he does for some reason like you an awful lot.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good idea to have him with a
With a
pigeon.
bird.
No.
No, you'd end up with one animal.
Yeah.
And then one animal inside that animal, I think. But that's us today. So we shall see you during the week, possibly certainly next week, and hope you enjoy the sun. We should be getting some decent weather this week, I think.
Well, it's warmer.
Yeah, it is warm.
I haven't lit the fire
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, no.
So it must be warmer.
All right. Oh,
Thank
hang
you,
on.
John.
There's a. Could you get the chocolate shop in? And can I do tasting? I don't think James will come in. Well, I'll ask him, but I'll. Knowing James as I do, Mark, I'm not sure. What I think we'd like to do, and I haven't actually spoken to Heather about this yet, so I'm probably going to get kicked under the table. But I would like to do a show with a couple of different guests, totally different people that are both well known on Aaron. So maybe yourself and James would be an interesting one, or somebody else from the chocolate shop if James wasn't keen to come on. And I think it's quite a nice.
You had
sort
me
of-
at chocolate.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do our best, Mark, to do that. There's certainly somebody in the chocolate shop I'm sure will oblige, and we'll get some bits and pieces in. And yes, we might invite you back on, seeing you were looking after Dusty last week. So, all right.
Definitely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. much.
We'll speak to you soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. No, it was 35 minutes we were on. That's the music from the... Your microphones are all...
I thought it might feel with you, Charlotte, as a kid.
I'm always very careful with Mark Bunyan's posts. You've got to read them before I read them out.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hang on a minute, I can read that now.
I'm sure you must get some.
I can't see. See, the trouble is I've got